is Aderemi. Adewoye is our co-host for today. And I would just like to have just a quick rundown of who our co-host and who happens to be our facilitator for today is. Aderemi Adewoye is a seasoned manufacturing and operations improvement manager who started his career as a management trainee in PZ Cousins Nigeria PLC, where he eventually played different roles in plant engineering, production, and operations excellence before he moved his service to Guinness Nigeria PLC, where he worked as a shift manager, packaging engineering manager, and continuous engineering manager, which made him work across different countries in Africa. He moved into another multinational food and beverage company and worked as an engineering manager, continuous improvement, and capability development manager. And as a plant manager for the organization, which happens to be the biggest factory in Africa, before he eventually moved to join Guinness as the site director in one of their major manufacturing plants. Aderemi Adewoye studied mechanical engineering from the University of Ilorin, and he proceeded to bag his master's in operations and supply chain from the University of Liverpool. He got a diploma in beverage packaging from Institute of Brewing and Distilleries in the UK. He has had several certifications to his credit, and this includes the PMP from the PMI in the USA. He is a certified Six Sigma Black Belt professional and a registered engineer, and also a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And that is our facilitator's profile, and you will agree with me that he's a wonderful fellow. For those that have had one or two things to do with him, he's a wonderful fellow. So ensure that you put on your seatbelt, fasten your seatbelt, as we're about to begin our flight into a world of knowledge. So I'll leave the floor to our facilitator. Welcome, Engineer Aderemi Adewoye, to the floor. You have the floor.
Thank you so much, Engineer Babedele Idris. I hope you can all hear me. Yeah. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I muted everybody so they will not disturb the session.
Great. Okay. Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's good to be here, Engineer Babedele Idris. I appreciate the opportunity that you have given so that we can also coach our young ones. This section is important. It's an important section, especially for your organization that has been in the forefront of making sure that we get our youth employable. So this is one of the sections that we also need to take, to give our youth that edge, that opportunity to be able to, get employment when the opportunity presents itself. Today, I will be talking majorly based on few of my experience. So it's really not going to be an academic session because I'm not an academician. Yeah, so we'll be focusing on increasing the chances of getting employment after graduation. So we are looking at talking to people that are looking for employment and people that are recent graduates, from the from whatever institution they must have attended. Before we start the session, I would like us to look at post. What I mean by post is, what's the purpose of this presentation? What are the objectives? What structure are we going to deploy? Then the timing. Yeah, the purpose of this presentation is just to let our audience be aware that it is possible to get employment even in this competitive landscape. But all that it takes is preparation. The objective is to reveal strategies that our audience can use, to get themselves employed after graduation. I'm going to do the presentation, then probably at the end of the session, we can have Q&A. But just like our host has said, if you have any question, you can post it on the chat, then we can pick it up later after the presentation. But before we start the session, it is important that I let you know that it is not everybody that will want to work for someone or work in what we call white collar job. Yeah, we are going to have some few of us that wants to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, then we want people that also want to create chains of business. Yeah, so but at the same time, some of us we want to work for others. Yeah, because everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, because if everybody starts creating jobs, where are they going to get people to employ or to do the job? So we are going to have employer, then we are going to have employee. So it is natural. So if you are in this section today, I assume that you are seeking for job, or you are looking at changing your job if you have one already. Why has Get Job planned this section? Because we have seen that getting job is not an easy challenge. Yeah, one might not be able to get job even after several months of seeking for job. If you look at the number of graduates that we turn out in our country today, compared to the employment opportunity that we have, you will see that it is naturally a competitive environment. So it is always challenging when people are looking for jobs. And why is it challenging? It is because most of the people seeking for jobs are using some specific strategies. And the few people that are getting employed, yeah, are using those strategies, and those strategies are already putting them at an advantage, in this competitive environment. So if you don't want to be left behind, you need to have the right knowledge of how to approach your searching. If you don't
Okay, I believe, okay, you're back now.
Wow.
Network, I know, because of the weather.
Network. Sorry.
Yes. We understand that. Network.
I don't know at what point you lost my voice, but I think I can go back to why this section has been planned by Bamidele Idris, Get Job Organization. Yeah, this section has been planned because we know that getting job is really not easy. Getting job is a challenge. It's a big challenge. And the reason why it is a challenge is because if you take a look at the number of people that graduate from university, from polytechnic, from tertiary institutions today, it outweighs the number of opportunities that we have. Yeah. Hello?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, maybe what I need to do, permit me to disable my video so that I will not have issue with network, please.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so getting job is really not easy. But the good thing is that some other people are they are still able to get their feet into that employment space. They are still able to get, job out of all these difficulties. The reason why some few people are able to get job is that getting job getting noticed in the market, getting employment in the market requires some strategy. So if you don't know those strategies, some other people will edge you out. And that is why you need to put yourself in that space of seeking for knowledge. And I believe that since you have joined this program today, is because you are looking for that knowledge, you are looking for that competitive edge, that can make you to stand out in that space. I will ask that our host should enable people to talk for a few seconds. I require about 2 people, to do this exercise. Yeah, the exercise is simple. Assuming that you are in an interview and you were asked this question, tell us about yourself. What is going to be your response? Engineer Bamidele Idris.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, let's have 2 people talk through this question. Tell us about yourself. Let us assume that we are in an interview panel, myself and Bamidele Idris, and we ask one of our participants to tell us about himself. Yeah, yes. So what are you going to say? So I need 1, 2 persons to volunteer.
Okay, I can see Tina. Tina, your speaker is open. Tina, you have the floor. Tina, your speaker is open, so you have the floor. Tina, no worry. Oh, you can talk. Tina, you can talk. You see, I got you there, right?
Yes,
huh?
Tina.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So, Tina, you are in an interview section, and myself and Dele, we have asked you to tell us about yourself. What is going to be your response?
Okay, my response will be, my name is Levi Tina. I'm a microbiology graduate from Nasarawa State University, Kefi, and I'm a customer service. My career, I don't know, I'm feeling tense, Jesus Christ.
No, please do not.
I'm feeling tense as if I'm in the actual interview.
Yeah. You are just in a simulated section.
Yes.
Okay, so. Okay, let me be calming down.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go again. My name is Levi Tina, a graduate from Nasarawa State University, microbiology, BSc microbiology. That's what I studied. I am a customer relation oriented, so I'm friendly and I am detailed oriented, and I like getting work done and carrying my teammates along. So I would.
Okay, so that's fine. I think you have made good.
Yeah.
You have made good attempts. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Do we have somebody that also want to volunteer?
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead. Engineer Bamidele Idris. I think we have few other guys that want to
Moshood, go ahead. Moshood, you raise your hand. You can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Moshood Olawale. Yeah. My name is Moshood Olawale.
Okay.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, my name is Moshood Olawale. I'm an accomplished quality assurance professional with over 6 years professional experience on the job. I own a master's degree in analytical chemistry and a bachelor of technology industrial chemistry. And I've been able to have professional experience across quality assurance and quality control, process monitoring and process management and operational improvement. And I've achieved tremendously in the area of quality control. I've been able to support and be part of the management team in establishing ISO 22015 with my team, and it was a success. I've also been able to support my team in achieving manufacturing and cut down on dispose weight. I've also been part of several developmental processes in my organization. So presently, I'm a very diligent and result-oriented person, and I'm a go-getter, and I don't get tired until I get my results. I'm also a very good team player and a team member. So I've been able to partake in other leadership positions where I've been managing some few set of people, and I'm also be a good follower. So thank you.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, they can all hear you.
Yes, sir, we can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. Thank you, Mashood and Tina, for that beautiful presentation. Yeah. Why did I put this question here? I put this question here because this was the first interview I have ever attended, since I started my career. The only question that was asked was this: tell us about yourself. We are graduates of over about 1,500 seeking employment that particular year. And every single of us were asked this question: tell us about yourself. Yeah? Maybe after the end of this, at the end of this section, we will come back to this same interview question and see how you are going to respond to it when we finish this program. Okay. So we can move on.
Yes, we can move on.
Okay. So this leads me to what I call employability. What do we mean if we say employability? I have tried to share this definition in different, sources. One has said employability can be defined as a set of achievements, skill, understanding, and personal attributes that make graduates or job seeker more likely to gain employment and be successful in their choosing occupation, which benefit themselves and the community at large. Another source have also said employability entails much more than the ability to get that first job. It is having the capacity to network and market oneself, navigate through a career, and remain employable throughout life. It requires the ability to ask questions, acquire new skills, identify and evaluate options. So if we say employability, we are not talking about getting the first job. We are talking about getting that first job and keeping yourself in employment throughout life. That's the word employability. And for today's section, we are focusing majorly on getting the first job. That is what we are focusing on. But that does not say that the strategy cannot also help you to change your job over and over and over and over again if you want to do that. And like I said, I'm actually speaking from experience. I can count the number of organizations I have worked since I started my career about 15 years ago. Yeah. And I've moved from one organization to the other and back to, to other organizations. And it is the same strategy, yeah, that are being deployed. And this strategy has worked for me in person. And this is what I want to share, with you today. So, one of the challenges that graduates or job seekers have is that they do not understand what employers look out for when they are considering hiring people. So we have the job seeker at one end. Engineer Daly, I think you can mute everyone now. Engineer Bamidele.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, please.
I'll mute everybody
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. So the challenges that graduates or job seeker have is that there is a gap, yeah, between the graduate, the job seeker, and the employer. Yeah. The employers are looking for certain traits, but the job seeker do not know these traits. And because they do not know these traits, they are not able to present themselves to the employer. They are not able to market themselves to the employer. Let's talk about the things that the employers are looking out for. We can classify this thing into 4 categories. The basic foundation, that is the first thing out of these 4 categories. Basic foundation. Basic foundation, most of the time, is your educational qualification. It is what is in the employer's face. So it is your ability to read and write. So that is the first thing that an employer is looking out for. So, and that is why you will see different job adverts that says this person must have this qualification, must study mechanical engineering, must study philosophy, must study sociology. That is what we call the basic foundation. That is your ability to read and write. Let me call it that way. It's your ability to be able to speak the let me say English. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So the next thing they are now looking out for is what we call the technical skill. The technical skill is ability to express yourself when it comes to the language you have gone to learn in school. So what do I mean? If you are telling a potential employer that you studied mechanical engineering, then potential employer wants to speak with you. He wants to really understand that you understand the rudiments of engineering that you have gone to study. Yeah, because you have said you have spent, let's say, some few years in the university trying to study the language of mechanical engineering. So the employer wants to know if you have an idea of those basic things the mechanical engineer should know. Yeah. So for instance, if I ask an engineering student, yeah, Newton laws of motion, and the engineering student is struggling to provide responses, you know, then what that means is that this person probably have gone into the university for years, but has come out of the university not able to understand the language of engineering. Yeah. So the next one that employers are also looking out for is what we call professional or personal attributes. Yeah, professional and personal attributes has to do with your work ethics. So for instance, integrity. For instance, they can also start looking at, okay, what is opinion around coming to work early? How disciplined are you? You know, stuff like that. Then there is something that we now call core work skill. That's the last category. And this is the ability to learn and adapt, listen and communicate effectively, think creatively, solve problems independently, manage yourself at work, interact with co-workers, work in a team or group, handle basic technology, lead effectively, as well as follow instruction. These are what we call core work skills. These are the things that will make you, that will ensure that you are successful. Yeah, when you eventually get the offer. So let me summarize again. employers are looking for 4 basic things. Your basic foundation, your ability to read and write. They are looking for technical skill. And the technical skill means, do you have basic understanding of what you claim that you have studied in your educational institute that you have gone to? Your personal or professional attributes. That is talking to your integrity, talking to maybe stuff around discipline in terms of execution, you know. Then we talk about the last one, which is core work skill. And this includes ability to learn and adapt, ability to listen and communicate effectively, ability to be creative, ability to solve problems independently, yeah, and ability to interact with co-workers in a team or groups. So you will agree with me that if you are a potential employer looking for these attributes, if you want to interview a candidate, if that candidate has not gotten these attributes, there's really no way you are going to engage this candidate. You know, there's no way you are going to give this candidate an offer of employment. Yeah. So, employer consideration when employing new graduates is always around the potential in the graduates, because it's not as if you have seen this particular person work in the past, and maybe this person has not even gotten some hands-on experience or considerable length of experience. Yeah, but you are looking out for the potential. So that is one of the core things that employer always look out for. Yeah. So let's talk about some of those few attributes that employer expects and the attributes that a job seeker should have. Excellent problem solving skill, which is part of the core work skill I've spoken about. Yeah, employer will be looking out for somebody that has the ability to detect root causes and develop the right action. Even if you don't know the action to take, you know where to go to ask for help. So, and that is why when you are in an interview, employer will be asking you questions such as, tell us about a time you have faced a challenge. When they are asking you this question, they might not expect you as a young graduate to be telling them your experience in another organization, but they are expecting you that in your life journey, you must have encountered some challenges. So they want to challenge. Yeah, that is what they want to listen to. We also talk about communication and listening skill. Yeah, your ability to listen is important. If employer in an interview is asking you questions, yeah, and you seem not to be listening to them, you are not providing the right response, it shows that you don't have listening skill, yeah, and there will be a question mark on that. Remember, what they are seeing in you is the potential, yeah. So it is important the way you also present yourself. So when we also talk about communication skills, how do you present your thoughts in a logical manner? This is what we also look out for when we are interviewing people. I have always been recommending a model. Please, today is not the time for us to talk about this model deeply, but I will want you to go and research this model. We call it STAR model. STAR model. S stands for situation, T for T stands for task, A stands for action, and the last letter R stands for results. So if an employer is asking you a question to say, tell us about a situation where you encounter challenges and what did you do about it. So you paste it in that context of STAR. Say, the situation was when I was looking for admission, blah, 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 blah. What was the task? Okay, I realized that I require physics, for the course I wanted to study. Yeah, so I had to focus on getting all the support to get my physics results right. Yeah, action that I took was to go into, some lessons, go into some evening class, pick some mentor, that tutor me when it comes to physics and stuff like that. And what result did I get? I came out with flying color, distinction in physics, which made me to gain admission into the university of this, that. So if you look at it, that STAR model has helped you to present your thoughts in a logical manner. And when potential employer realized you are using this model and you are communicating, they tend to believe that in terms of communication and listening skill, you are there. Some few attributes is also around team working. So you will be given an examples of where you have deployed, team working attributes. They will be looking at for you in terms of initiatives, strong work ethics, like I said the other time, integrity, discipline in execution. Because in our industry today, you realize that we always generate a lot of actions. But we have few people that want to execute those actions that we get the right result. So they want to see if you have a plan. So they might be asking you questions that shows what is really your plan in the next 5 years. So what they want to hear is to say, okay, you have a plan to climb the highest mountain. What step have you taken? They want to see if you are disciplined in working towards your goal. That is what they are asking for. They want to also check your leadership skill. You are a graduate. But is it possible that when you were in school, you have led a team before, a project team, and stuff like that? So they want to see, they want to hear your experience. They are really not looking for that 20 years experience you have put up somewhere, but they want you to use your experience in life to craft stories along those questions they are asking you. And remember, what they are checking is potential. Some other attributes. Good personal presentation is also important. Somebody said the way you are dressed determine how you will be addressed. So you are going for an interview, you are sagging. I don't think that is going to work. You are going for an interview, depending on the kind of interview you are going for anyway. If you are going for maybe something around, what do I call it? Entertainment. Okay, you can do all of that. So, but what is important is that understand the industry that you want to go interview for, understand their values, proposition, and stuff like that, and make sure you present yourself, well for that particular occasion. The last one I put here is what I call self-awareness. At this age in time, for every individual human being, at a point in time, you should be able to be self-aware. You should be able to know your strengths. You should be able to know your areas where you require improvement. So in interview, you will always meet this question. What they want to check is to check if they want to know if you are self-aware. If you are not self-aware, then there's really no need for them to engage you. Having spoken about what employers are looking out for, about some of those attributes that they are looking out for, let's go back to now talk about the strategy that you can deploy. And like I said, this has worked for me. And that is why I put this stuff together. You are a graduate. You need to be noticed before you will be invited for a talk or a chat, isn't it? So you have your CV on your system. Yeah, you have not done any significant thing for an employer to see. So the first thing for you to get interviewed is, how do you put yourself in the face of the potential employer? We are lucky in this age. We have what we call social media. Why don't you use social media to your advantage? You need to go complete your profile, for instance, on LinkedIn. You need to go get recommendation from people who can talk about your previous work. It might be in school, your previous project. It might be people that you work together with when you were doing your IT, stuff like that. So it gives you an opportunity, to put yourself in the face of potential employer. In my career, I've had different contacts of people asking me to drop my CV, of people interview me through LinkedIn. I never believed that LinkedIn worked before, until I also started getting, people contacting me on LinkedIn for opportunities. A few weeks ago, I still have an opportunity. Somebody already contacted me to say, we are looking for an executive. Can you submit your CV? Yeah. So make use of social media. Join different groups relevant to your area of interest and contribute to discussions. One of the things I have also done while looking for job in the past is, for instance, I joined FMCG group on LinkedIn. I joined engineering groups on LinkedIn. Then I make sure I contribute. I made it a point of duty to contribute often. Yeah, so I pick some topics. I research on those topics. I throw it on LinkedIn. Yeah, you see different people looking at it, reading it, people making comments about it. And as people are making comments, it's just putting me in the face of my potential employer. So this is a big opportunity that you can also tap into. Yeah. So, but the only thing you must note, your presence on social media must not be linked to unclean digital footprint. Yeah, don't let people go to social media and type Aderemi Adewoye, then it brings my name out in a negative situation. Yeah, so my name is linked to 419, my name is linked to fraud, my name is linked to all of that. So as much as possible, that's why I spoke about integrity. Integrity is important. So you need to make sure that your digital footprint is not linked to something dirty. So the first thing, now that you have opportunity to be interviewed, what is the next thing you have to do? Remember, preparation, you need to prepare to deliver a good impression. And how do you need to prepare? You need to understand your target employer. You need to understand the industry. You need to understand their culture. Yeah, and I've given you a model that I've used severally, STAR model. Yeah, use the STAR model to prepare. Use what we call situational questioning, because employer will always ask you, tell us about a time that you have. So ask yourself, you can go to internet, download all those questions. Yeah, provide answers to it. Yeah, practice often and often. Yeah, to make sure that you are ready for the opportunity. Remember, I always tell people, luck is equal opportunity plus preparation. Yeah, so if you don't have opportunity, yeah, people might say you are not lucky. Yeah, but if you have opportunity and you are not prepared, you won't also be lucky. But if you have opportunity and you've done enough preparation, if you add these two together, Then people see you and say, hey, that guy is lucky he got his first job. Yeah. So the next thing which I've mentioned is around self-awareness. You need to know your strengths and areas where you need to improve. How do you say this to your potential employer? Employer will not ask you to list your strengths. They will not tell you to list your strengths, but they will dig into this by asking you situational questions. They will want to know how you reacted to some challenges. Yeah, and from there, they can start picking up your strengths and your areas of improvement. The third strategy that you can use is also around volunteering, looking for temporary job. Yeah, don't look for that fantastic offer right now. You might get it, but while waiting for that, why can't you just find something to do? You know why? Because a player will tell you, we are looking for 5 years experience. We are looking for 3 years experience. If you sit down back home and you are looking for that big bang, yeah, it might not come, and you might not be able to gather those small experience. And when that big bang comes, you will not have the right experience, to pick up that opportunity. Yeah, so I have also seen where people provide their service for free. Yeah, I did this when I started my career. I provided my service for free for a small organization. Yeah, and I was able, to pick up some learning for few weeks while I was waiting for my youth service. Yeah, I was able to learn, a lot of things. The next one I always tell people is about your career aspiration. Yeah, you need to know, have an aspiration. So you need to have a purpose. You have gone into university, you have gone into polytechnic to learn a trade. Yeah, but you need to put it together in an aspiration to say, what do I really want to do in my career? Yeah, so for instance, you have somebody that has gone into, to study a course. Yeah, so you've studied mechanical engineering, for instance, and you are jumping into every certification that you can see in this world. There is a certification in proficiency in Yoruba. You attended that. You have the certificate. There's another certification around PMP. You have that one. Certification around IT. You have that one. Certification around whatever certification you see. You are just jumping at it. People give you advice. Hey, there's another certification that is new now in vogue. You jump at it. Yeah. So you need to really sit down and say, what do I want to do? And based on what you want to do, then you start planning your, future to say, okay, let me get certification in this. This will make me better in this, and this will make me better in this. Then you are preparing for that, preparing for that opportunity. Yeah. Some other things that you also need to look out for, the strategy you need to use. I've spoken about preparation. You also need to understand the role you applied for. And when you get to interview, please prepare to ask the interviewer questions. I know some of the participants here have seen some of the big boys, also as participants in this training today. And they will agree with me that one of the things that moved us when we are interviewing people is the ability for the job seeker to ask good questions. Yeah, so for instance, I'm interviewing somebody and we ask to say, do you have any question for us? And the guy says, no question. I'm not saying there's something bad with that, but are you really giving yourself that advantage, that edge? Yeah. When I interview people and I ask, do you have any question for me? They say, no question. I say, oh, thank you, go. And maybe that person has not even impressed me, the whole of the interview. And I was thinking that maybe this last one, he was going to put something together. Yeah. You also see people, they ask questions like, when is the closing time? When is the resumption time? You know, questions like that. We are talking about questions that we get the interviewer to say, wow, this is excellent. Yeah. These are the kind of questions we are talking about. We are not talking about questions you can see on the website of the organization. If you are asking me, where is your office located in Lagos? It's already on the website. Yeah. Where is it? What are your core values? It's already on the website. So I was expecting you normally that you should have gone into our website, do some research, and come up with questions that will make us to say, wow, this is excellent. Yeah. And also, what I want to tell you now is also about getting to know the people that will interview you. You might be lucky. I have been on an interview, yeah, that I was lucky to know the people that will interview me. I'm not talking about knowing them in person or whatever. I was just lucky. You know, when you get to certain level, you might be privileged to know that this interview is going to be conducted by this person. Even if you don't know, for instance, if I'm applying for a role that reports to the managing director of a company, the good thing for me is to go research about the managing director. I will look for the managing director's name, and I have opportunity to go into LinkedIn, search for that person, look at the profile of that person to say what are the major interests of this person. So this person is a marketer. So I need to go, you know, understand marketing. This person is an engineer. I need to go understand areas where that person will be interested. I want to see how this person started his career. I want to have knowledge of what this person, you know, will be interested in. If I have friends in that organization, I want to put a call to them to say, guys, I'm going to be interviewed with Mr. Bamidele Idris tomorrow. Yeah, I understand that he's the managing director of this company. What do you think he likes hearing? You know, stuff like that. Yeah, that will give you an advantage. And please, during the interview, watch out for what you do at the lobby while waiting. This is funny, but it is true. I have seen different candidates waiting for us at the lobby. We were up, looking at them, looking at what, how they were, you know, carrying themselves and stuff like that. And from there, those of us in the panel of that interview were already discussing to say what traits will this person have, what traits will this person have. And when that person comes to us, we already have idea of questions we are going to ask. So please, this is also very important. To conclude, closing the gap between employers' expectation when hiring and that of prospective employee will increase their chances of being employed. That is one of the things we have said, you know, since we started this topic. Preparation for opportunity before the opportunity comes is critical to improve chances of being employed. I always tell my team, the best time to prepare for war is in the time of peace. Yeah, so it is good that you start preparing so that when the opportunity comes, you are not going to miss it. I also want to tell you, don't be discouraged with few rejections. Anytime you go for interview, you are rejected, you are not given an offer, does not mean that you should be discouraged. What you should be talking about is to say, where did I miss it? Yeah, are there things I should learn from this opportunity that presented itself you know, so that in case, if I'm preparing for the next opportunity, I will be available. These are the things you need to start talking about. And remember, I said the first question I asked when we started this presentation was a simulation to say, if somebody asks you, tell us about yourself, how are you going to respond? I don't know if this has changed the way you are going to respond. But remember, I also told you that this was the first question I was asked when I was looking for job, when I started looking for job in those years. Where 1,500 people applied for a job, and the only question they asked us in the interview was, tell us about yourself. And you know, majority of us were telling the interviewer about the information that is already sitting on our CV that the interviewer could see. We're saying we attended something primary school in the year 1972. We attended something university in the year of our Lord 2000. We did this, we did that, blah, 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 blah. Those are the things we're saying. Those things the interviewer was even telling us, giving us a clue. I can see that on your CV. Tell me about yourself. Well, I could not sell myself. Yeah. What the guys were asking for is for me to tell them about some attributes that I have. If you have a product, and I always tell people looking for job, consider yourself as a brand. Yeah, so let us assume that you are a marketer and you want to sell a product. You are the manufacturer of a Lexus car and you want to sell Lexus 350 to potential buyer. What are you going to say? Are you going to say this is a car that has 4 tires? No. You are going to talk about the attributes of that car that distinguishes that car from its peers. Yeah, so when an employer asks you this question, think about those attributes that you have that might be scarce in other people. And these are the things that the employer are asking you. They want you to sell yourself as a brand. When I started my career, my first interview, I could not sell myself. But I went back to say, where did I get it wrong? I realized that, oh, I missed the question. So I went back again to prepare. And when I got the next opportunity, I got that job. I got about 3 different offers and I selected one. Yeah, because I used that strategy, which I learned because of the first rejection that I got. So it is important when you get rejection, go back and check, why did you miss it? What can you do to improve so that when the opportunity comes next time, you are not going to miss it. That is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much, guys, for joining.
Wow. That was awesome. That was awesome. And thank you so much to our facilitator for today. For those that came late, we already introduced who our facilitator is. So, I think I would love to just give an insight again before we now go ahead with the session. The name of our facilitator is Aderemi Adewoye. Aderemi Adewoye, like I said earlier, for those who came late, like I said, is a seasoned manufacturing and operations improvement manager. But just to summarize it, he's a current site director in one of the manufacturing plants, which is about the biggest or the conspicuous manufacturing sites of Guinness. He's the site director, and Aderemi Adewoye he has several certifications to his credit. He's a certified 6 Sigma Black Belt professional, and he's also a registered engineer and also a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers. And it's a wet day from Lagos here. It's for those that are joining from outside Nigeria. This is Lagos, the former capital city of Nigeria in West Africa. And I recall our facilitator gave 2 opportunities to our members to kind of do a presentation. So I don't know, maybe our facilitator, we can have maybe 2 opportunities for 2 people to just demonstrate how to answer the question, tell me about yourself. It is a big problem in the society. It is a big problem amongst fresh graduates and very young graduates. It's a big problem. So I don't know if you mind, 2 people can signify if you want to try answer a question, and it's you will always be asked that kind of question. The question is, tell me about yourself. So 2 people, if you wish to give it a try, let's see. Just signify if you want to give it a try. If you want to give it a try, tell me about yourself question, and let's criticize and give ourselves a thumbs up what we need to give. Yes, let's criticize and abuse. So
and build on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Build. Yes. So who is willing? Who is willing? Okay. Abdul Kadir Ayodeji has signified. We have 2 people that have signified here. Abdul Kadir Ayodeji. Okay. Abdul Kadir, can you unmute your mic and give it a try?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Kadir.
Okay. So since you are sorry, before you go ahead, since you are on the floor now, can we see your face? But if you feel that you have network issues, no problem. Because don't forget that
let me try.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Abdul Kadir.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes, I can see my face now.
Very well. We can see your face.
Okay, sir. So I am Adewoye Adeji. I'm a HND graduate of mechanical engineering from CSSBBP College of Technology. Okay. So I have wonderful years of experience, 6 years experience as a maintenance personnel with demonstrated history in working with food and beverages company in Nigeria. I have worked with Yali Foods Limited in Ibadan as a maintenance technician, which my roles are to maintain our production equipment. So before I left there, I was able to supervise a project. I designed a construction of our oven for a new bread line. So I was also among the part of the team that did the installation of 2 Sakatiano mixers in our processing room. And before I left, I was made the maintenance team lead in the packaging section of the company. So in spite of great challenges in life, I secured another employment with Chile Limited in Lagos State, Adewoye State to be precise, as a maintenance engineer. So, and I've been working with this chief fitter for like past 3 years now, where my role and responsibilities are to design and planning, execution, and coordination of maintenance activities on Tetra Pak lines. So, and I've been able, with the help of my colleagues, to be able to contribute efficiently to the production environment as a whole, which is not included to improvement in our production volume for like 20% improvement, like 20 to 25%, and the production time capability, production time utilization has also been by 12.9%. So, and now one of the things I've loved about my job is that it gave me an opportunity to add value to my people, to the organization, and to myself. I'm skilled in engineering, repair and maintenance, reliability engineering, and maintenance work management. And as much as I love and appreciate my job, I would like and I look forward to secure greater challenges with big opportunities, with big organizations like this that will expect me to greater challenges that will bring me up. So I'm excited about this position because I know that it will help and help push my career to this next level. Thank you, sir.
Awesome introduction. Just before our facilitator makes a comment, whether positive or negative, please, because we are now in the future, and this is post-COVID, because this is post-COVID, please and please, we need to start getting acquainted to technology. Years before, you must have an interview session physically, but now sessions like this are online. So please, when you were talking, it was not so clear. It was blurred, the voice. So I will have suggested, I will have advised that you use the earpiece. I observed that you were not using earpiece. So I'll leave the floor to our facilitator to make comments on the introduction.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Bamidele Idris. It was a good try. It was a good attempt. I always don't like saying either a no for every attempt that is made, but I always want to see areas of improvement. If you remember what I have said when doing this presentation, going into, imagine somebody asks you, tell us about yourself. And you start by saying, and I will cite an example that I've used in the past that left my interviewer to say, wow, this is great. He asked me, Remy, tell me a bit about yourself. And I started by saying, I am a brand. And I said, for a brand like me, I do everything to protect my integrity. And I am somebody that is disciplined in execution. And I said, I can cite several examples where I have deployed this trait. You understand? I said, I can cite several examples where I have deployed this trait. So much noise at the background. Somebody is in a cinema.
The person.
Okay, so I said, I consider myself as a brand, and as a brand, I do everything to add value to different organizations. I do things putting integrity in the face of whatever I do. I am somebody that does not believe that things are impossible. If I find it difficult to do stuff, I go check. I go look for areas where I can get help, where I can get support. And I told my interviewer, I said, I can cite several examples where I have deployed these traits. So I now move into citing examples of where I have deployed some of those attributes. You understand? Because the guy that asked me question asked my CV. And what I said to the guy is that you have my CV already. So I'm not going to bore you with what you have on my CV because I know you have gone through it. But I'm going to tell you about my attributes. So I spoke to my attributes and I cited the examples of where I have deployed those attributes and that has led to massive results. And that is why I said, go and read about STAR model. If we have opportunity in the future, we can also see how we can deploy this training to our youth. Go and learn STAR model. It's on the internet. It's not something that we manufacture ourselves. Okay.
Thank you so very much, Engineer Adewoye, Aderemi. I would love also to give, we have a special guest amongst us. We have Madam Taiwo Dayo Abaton amongst us. Madam Taiwo is the group head, human resources for Mutual Benefits Assurance, West Africa. She actually signified her willingness to actually make comments on the introduction made by Abdul Kadir for tell me about yourself. So, Madam Taiwo Dayo Abaton, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, we can. Very clear.
Happy Sunday, everyone. I've quietly listened in. I want to appreciate our facilitator. Excellent delivery. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
I just wanted to chip in, just to give a review, just to give my own perspective to the introduce yourself. And I will just say, and I'll use the acronym KISS. Keep it short and simple. So as he was speaking, he talked much that because interviewers have short attention span, I got lost in between, or I got distracted in between. So you keep it short and simple. And our facilitator actually took the words out of my mouth. The interview panel members have your CV. You speak to your attributes. You speak to your attributes. I always say that when you are going for an interview, the only time you have to sell yourself is when they ask you that question, tell us about yourself. That is the best time to sell yourself. Talk about your attributes, talk about your accomplishments, talk about why you are the best candidate for that job. And I want to believe that if every candidate can do that, then they have a high percentage rate of getting. Thank you very much. But to keep it short and simple.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so very much, Madam Taiwo Dayo Abaton. For those that do not know Madam Taiwo Dayo Abaton, Madam Taiwo was one of our speakers in one of our sessions, and I recall that she was the first facilitator to come. She got to our site as early as 6:30, and thank you so very much for chipping that in. I see some other people have raised their hand for a trial because I said we're giving two. Okay, Abdul Kadir has trial. Who else has raised it? We have Vicky. We have three people that have raised their hand here. Vicky, Vicky, you want to give it a trial? I've unmuted you. So tell us about yourself. Vicky, I see your hand is up.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Vicky. Welcome.
Yeah, I want to talk about the tell us about yourself question. So, my name is Wonsa Amarachi Victoria, and I studied mathematics in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and I came out with a second-class honors upper division, and I've taught in several schools, the primary and the secondary section, as well as high school students. That's the year one students, the year one, year 2, and 3, and I taught them mathematics. And I was actually able to impart knowledge into this set of people. And I am a hardworking, enthusiastic, and loyal person who knows how important my work is to my own role happiness. And I'm always looking for ways to improve myself so as to add value to my role, or so as to improve my role. And I am a front-end developer, and I make use of languages like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, as well as some frameworks like Bootstrap and W3 School. And now the main reason for using Bootstrap and W3 School is to, Bootstrap and W3 Schools are used for developing mobile-first responsive websites. And what I mean is, instead of me using
Wow, I think Vicky's network. It's a
making my site responsive. I just make use of my Bootstrap, and it's responsive on my mobile because if I make use of if I code it with just CSS, I have to make it responsive on other devices. But using W3 School and Bootstrap, it will be responsive on other devices. And I'm also a graphics designer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vicky. So comments from our facilitator. Okay, 5 other people have raised up their hands, but we want our facilitator to just make some comments on what Vicky has said.
Hello, Engineer Bamidele.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. We have Bayo Makinde. Bayo Makinde is one of our.
Can you allow me to? I'm not going to tell you about myself.
We know we know that you are not going to talk about yourself.
I just wanted to chip in something. Engineer Aderemi.
Yes.
Engineer Aderemi,
Yes, boss.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. I thank God that I was able to join this training stroke discussion, and I really appreciate the way you have presented this training, and I thank you a lot. I just want to say something, you know, for especially those of us that are technical people, we focus on the technical aspect about ourselves, but the employer is actually looking about most of the time about the personal attributes, just like Mrs. Abato and yourself you have mentioned. The lady that spoke last too, I think she focused more on the technical abilities, you know, Java this, that, and most of the time that will only score you like 30% out of 100, because most employers are looking beyond the technical skills. They are looking at your communication skills, administrative skills. They are looking at your personal attributes, just like you have mentioned. You need to sell yourself as a brand. So who are you? What makes you different between you and the other people? Because most of the time, especially in the engineering field, you have like 3,000 candidates for maybe 10. When we joined Coca-Cola in 2000, we were 3,000 of us that applied for the job, and we use a national stadium and also Agege Stadium for the. No, I'm very serious. Some people will remember. We are actually like 10,000. Then we did test. They reduced us to 1,000. Then the second stage was like 500. You understand? So you have like 10,000 people applying for 10, and they only selected 10 engineers. So those 10 engineers, it was not because we had second class or first class. In fact, me, I have 2-2. I did not have, because I was not a serious student in school. I just managed to get 2-2. But what sold me out was, you know, the personal attributes. You know, some of us then, we were blending student activism with study then. So we could never, even if we get 2-1, they will not give us. They say, are you this back day that you're always following union people up and down? How can we give you 2-1? So the employer is not really looking for, for the 2-1 every time. Although for banks and some other industries, maybe they are looking for people with 2-1. But for engineering field or manufacturing, Engineer Aderemi, you can correct me if I'm wrong. They are actually looking for people that can, you know, that have the attributes to put in their best and to deliver results, especially problem-solving skills, teamwork, and others. So the other guy that also talk about, I'm able to maintain this, I'm able to repair this. It's not every time that they are looking for such skills. So I just say, let me chip in 1 or 2 things so that people can also, you know, they can add to the learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Bayo Makinde. For those that do not know Engineer Bayo, am I allowed to introduce you?
You can introduce me, but don't make mistakes, because the last time you introduced me on a platform, you made a mistake. I worked somewhere for 2 months and you mentioned the place.
No. Okay, so maybe you should introduce yourself too before, so that people will know who, so that they might want to chat you privately to get some more facts. So I'll leave you to introduce yourself.
Okay. Guys, my name is Bayo Makinde. I'm a seasoned electrical engineer. I'm also a project manager. I'm presently working with Olam as a project manager stroke engineering manager. But I'm always in touch with Bamidele Idris. Is long together. I work in like 7 companies. And
you are too mobile. You are too mobile.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Engineer Bamidele.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, I think it was good that Engineer Makinde introduced himself. I wanted to also tell you, because if you introduce him today, by tomorrow is in another company. Okay. Okay. So guys,
Hello, Engineer
because
Bamidele. Can I just say something?
Okay, sorry.
Can I
We
say
have
something?
another important special guest that has joined us also, Malam Joe. Malam Joe, we would love you to introduce yourself before you make any comments. This is an important and special guest also.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Bamidele, and my friend and my boss, Engineer Aderemi Adewoye, Iskaba. Glad to be on this call. Don't laugh, please. Glad to be on this call. Malam Joe is a staff of Nigerian Bottling Company. I'm currently the plant manager for Port Harcourt plant, the head of operations. Okay, my background is also electrical electronics, but I have my strength majorly in automation before diversifying to managing operations. I really want to appreciate the platform and the opportunity given. I had to invite my son to join, who is also on this call, so that he can learn.
Awesome.
Okay,
awesome.
So my son is on the call, so okay. Let me leave that side. What I actually want to say is maybe for it to move fast and for us to have opportunity to listen to all of to the way the team on this call we approach an interview. Maybe we give them opportunity. Those who have raised up their hand, let them perform first, so we can now have a summary, a way to advise them. I think if one person speaks, and we keep reviewing them, we may take a longer time, and others may not have opportunity to show what they believe this is the way they should go about it. I salute their courage, especially the first person that spoke. So I'm suggesting, I'm not the facilitator, just an input. If we allow them to come up with all the strength, all the style, everything they know, and from them we'll be able to guide them through. Thank you for the opportunity.
Your comment and advice is highly recognized, and it is a good one, and it is the good way to go. So thank you so very much, Malam Joe, who is the plant manager of NBC. For those that are looking for a job, please, you can chat him up. Those are the big boys in Coca-Cola. So I see that, oh, okay. Okay, I see that we have some other hands. So because of time, we'll just restrict it to 2 more people. After 2 more people, we'll go to question and answers. Even though our facilitator wants to, has another meeting, but we'll restrict it to 2 more comments. So Ajao Abib has raised his hand up. So just, you have the floor. So just tell me about yourself. So you have the floor, Ajao Abib. You can unmute yourself and Ajao Abib. Ajao Abib, your hands are raised. If Ajao Abib is not talking, I think we'll go to the next person. Okay. Okay, this person has lowered the hand. Adenle Waliu, your video is on, so you have the floor. Adenle Waliu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I am Adenle Waliu. I studied mechanical engineering from the Beta Belfast University of Ilorin. At present, I work with the telecommunication service provider as a field service engineer, where I'm in charge of the maintenance department. I'm hardworking, a go-getter, result-oriented, and highly committed to corporate goals. I am a critical thinker and a problem solver, in the sense that in my company, I keep to date, and I make sure that we meet up with target to achieve 100% NTTR. That is all I can say, sir.
Thank you so much, Adenle. I think Ajawa Abib came back, but his background was noisy. So, Ajawa Abib, you have the floor now. If, okay.
Good day, sir.
Yes.
My name is Ajawa Abib. I studied electrical engineering. I had a second class upper degree in electrical and computer engineering.
Is that all?
Engineer Dele.
Okay.
Engineer Dele.
Yes, I can hear you.
I think, maybe what we can do, let's give opportunity for people. I know we are busy, but we need to also add value to, to our people. We can give opportunity for guys to answer this question. They can share that to you on email. Then we can review this and provide them feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, but we will not be able to do for lots of people because of time. But if you have maybe 5 guys that wants to do this, they can do that, send to you. Let's review it together. If Madam Abaton also can create time, we can do this to give our people feedback.
Yes, yes, we can still create the time. There's no problem. So we'll share the slides with everybody that is interested. The slides for this session. So because of time, we'll quickly go back to the question and answer session. So I will limit the questions to 5 for the facilitator. So let's start immediately. So Moshood Muhyiddin Olawale, more thanks to the mentor. And my question is this: please, what is your advice for someone who is well qualified in terms of qualifications, experience, and skills, but has not had a managerial opportunity, but really eager for one?
Okay, you want me to provide response, or anybody can also provide response?
Yes,
I know we have the big guys here.
Yes.
Engineer Makinde, Malam Joe, Madam Abaton.
We also have Lechi also.
Yeah. I saw Emmanuel Agbola at the time. I don't know if he's still here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so if I have to provide the response, for people might not have opportunity to start. Not everybody will have opportunity to start as management trainee, but people grow into management position. Yeah, but what is important is this. I always tell people to learn. Don't lose any opportunity to learn. Yeah, like I said, luck is equal to opportunity plus preparation. So if you are not a manager now, you are looking forward to becoming a manager, can you just start learning from somebody? Yeah, can you start looking at those courses you need to do that will give you that edge? Can you also start talking? Most organizations now have what we call appraisal system. Yeah, so can you start talking about your aspiration to your line manager to say, manager, this is my aspiration? Can you start looking for opportunity to relieve your manager when your manager is on leave? Yeah, stuff like that. So if you do that, that opportunity will, of course, come, one of these days, and you'll be able to utilize it.
Okay, thank you so much. We have Ojeleye Boluwatife. I studied agricultural education, and currently I'm working as a customer service representative. I have less than 1 year experience and have piqued interest in the field. I would like to work in the banking industry, telecommunications, or maybe agricultural sector. How do I develop myself to fit in these industries, considering my background is agriculture?
Hello.
Yes. Engineer Bayo Makinde.
Can I chip in something on this question?
Yes, you can.
Just like Engineer Aderemi said, you must have a career aspiration. Yeah, fine. You studied agricultural science or whatever, but you must have a focus. You cannot be aspiring to do like 2, 3 things, because I can hear the person say, I want to do this, I want to do that. So for example, if you are in the banking sector, you can grow, can continue to grow there. The basic first degree or HND, just like you said, is just the basic requirement for most jobs. Ability to be able to read and write. Engineer Aderemi,
Yes, very correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you have agriculture, you have a BSc 2-1 or 3-1 or HND. That's just a basic prerequisite. You have to, if you are going to work in the banking sector, you can decide to grow there, and you can do other courses. Maybe I can banking. You can register with the Institute for Bankers or whatever, the Chartered Institute of Bankers. Then you can grow in the banking industry. If it's in manufacturing, then you can start taking courses that have to do with manufacturing. It's not good to be moving from one place to another. Everybody cannot be like a biomarketer that you work here, you work there. You understand? If you are in a place, you can still grow there. Then the other person I was talking about, being a manager. Managers are not born. They are, it's not that you just become a manager overnight. So you have to learn other people. Maybe you have a mentor, somebody that will be guiding you. Then you can also take up some acting positions. You can put it in your appraisal system that you want to become. So you want to be a manager in this department. So you can start growing. You learn from people. You understand? So that person should just calm down, just like the young man used to say, calm down and take it easy. You cannot work here, I want to be this, I want to be that. You cannot be 3 things at the same time. So if you want to be like our guy who is a manufacturing expert, you can toe that line and you study and you take courses that have to do with that.
Thank you so very much, Engineer Makinde. We have one, I'll give 2 more questions now. Then for every other question, I will collate the other questions and send it to respective people. Now we have Apang Daniel. Apang Daniel is saying, many employers look for years of experience, but if an employee has a 4-year experience in various fields, but each role is not up to 1 year, is it good for the potential employee to put this in his or her CV? That's the question. So I don't know, maybe Madam Dayo Abaton is still on, so that she will come from the HR perspective. I know we also have Sheson, the head of HR for some of our organizations, Sheson and Madam Dayo Abaton. These are the HR gurus. I know that they are online now, probably. Yes. Hello. We have Madam Dayo Abaton there. Okay, she's still online, but probably she's doing something else. How about Sheson? Sheson is the head of HR for, I don't want to mention the organization. I know he won't want to mention.
Yes, I'm here. Here.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, once again. For the person that raised the question around the 8 months experience, whether he or she should include in his or her resume. For everything comes to experience, so it should be included. But I don't. We were talking about somebody was introduced to us who has worked in 7 organizations. I will call him a maverick. And but we wouldn't want to use him as a role model for young professionals. Yes. He's a maverick, and I guess he's just been lucky, or God has been on his side. Excellent, well done. But we don't want to use him as a role model for young professionals. Now, we also understand that the employee life cycle, because of the millennials, is quite short now, between 18 months and 2 years maximum in any organization. So what companies are doing now is to ensure that we maximize them while they're with us by sharpening our value propositions to them. So for someone who has 8 months experience in between, it's still part of the experience, but be ready with answers for your interviewers at the panel why you used 8 months in an organization. Because ideally, confirmation is between 6 and 1 year, 6 months and 1 year. So you should be ready with ready with reasons why you had to leave after 8 months. And even while you're trying to give those reasons, make sure that you don't badmouth your previous employer. So it takes a lot of wisdom there. But 8 months in anybody's career is still a long time that you cannot avoid to do away with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Dayo.
Thank you, Madam Abato. Thank you very much, Baba. I need to mention that I worked 13 years in one of those companies, unfortunately for me. And that was the longest I worked.
Don't mind our friends. They didn't see that. They didn't see that. But I would like to actually meet you in person because you're a maverick.
I would like to meet you too.
We also have Ajao Abib. He said, you said at the end of the session that we should try and understand why we were rejected and work on it. My question is, how do we get to do that? Most interviewers don't reach us after interviews to tell why the applicants missed the opportunity.
Okay. Thank you, Abib. Yeah, I think I posted the response on that chat. Yeah, so you will, if you do several interviews with different people or different organizations, if you do 10, you might not get response back from 10. You understand? But the most important thing is that if you're able to get responses from any of these 10, then it's good for you. If I use my own example, what I do is I try and get back to my potential employer to ask them. I give them time. Yeah, then I ask them, send an email to say, thank you for considering me for this interview, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I want to get feedback so that I can further develop myself and stuff like that. I do that and I get feedback. Yeah. It might not come once. It might be another reminder and another reminder. But this man behind the system, they also realize I'm doing this to work on myself, not doing it to pressure them into giving me anything. So I just say it's for my self-development, and I've seen this worked for me. I didn't get in all the locations I've done interview, but I got in few, and maybe I'm lucky. I've not gotten I've not gotten rejections, you know, in interviews like that. But I know the one of the few times I got rejection, I think I got feedback to say this is what you need to watch out for and stuff like that. And when people also interview with me, I try as much as possible to give them feedback. Yeah, because this is something that I love to get, and this is something I also want to give back to people so that they can work on themselves.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much.
We have the HRS part. Maybe Madam can also want to shed light on strategy that people can use.
Just before Madam comes in, Madam Taiwo comes in, this is just to recognize the presence of the head of, she actually manages Africunia. She's one of the facilitators for Africunia TV. She's based in Dubai, Ayanda Moropane. So I don't know, maybe Ayanda can actually give one or two things about the question. Ayanda Moropane. Ayanda is currently based in Dubai. Yes.
Engineer, hi, how are you? You put me on the spot. I actually privately messaged you. It was not my intention to be called out, but I thank you so much for the opportunity. Hello to everyone. It's been a very interesting session to attend. My name is Ayanda Morpani. I'm a seasoned HR professional based out in Dubai. I am a moderator on behalf of the Masterclass Initiative, streamed on Africunia TV, but by profession, I'm an HR consultant, and I've worked in several industries in HR as an HR head, HR director, for multinationals based also in South Africa and also in Dubai. Now, basically on this subject, I really want to just add only one thing for candidates. As we can see, recruiters and talent acquisition people don't always have, the mindset to always respond to candidates, especially if they didn't make the cut. My only, advice would be that as a candidate, when you go to an interview, always make sure that you come prepared with questions. And part of those questions should be towards the end, when they ask you, do you have anything to add or share? Just request live at that point in time. It's a great opportunity to request and say, could you please be kind enough to give me feedback on my interview? Do you feel that I could be suitable for the role? Is there any area where you feel that I could work on better, just for my own personal development? As someone who's interviewed extensively and at all levels, I can tell you, when a candidate says that to you, you immediately feel humbled, and you feel that you need to kind of respond to it because it's for their personal development. So try that strategy. I've used it before and it works, where you just say to them, look, if it's possible, could you share with me, any kind of feedback as to how the interview went? I'm not expecting any promises, but just for my own personal development to know what I can improve on in future. Or if you don't have the time now, maybe you could be kind enough to just send me a message, just highlight what I need to work on. I know that a lot of HR people would be willing to do that. So that would be my key takeaway for you as to the kind of a strategy that you could implement if you really wanted to give feedback.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so very much, Madam Ayanda Moropane. Just for our information, we have another session in the next few hours. For those who are interested, Ayanda Moropane will be training us on, for those who are interested in how to coordinate and facilitate events like this. She will actually be coming online 5 p.m. Just if you're on Get Jobs, we'll share all the information for us on Get Jobs. So for those who don't know about Get Jobs, you can actually check us up on www.getjobs.ng. That's our website, www.getjobs.ng. So you could, I'll reshare the flyer with us for those who are on Telegram Messenger. 5 p.m. Nigerian time. She's going to be joining us from Dubai for that session. Back to our session. I think we've exhausted all the questions. I know that Madam Taiwo Abaton wanted to chip in something before Madam Ayanda came. So Madam Taiwo Dayo Abaton, the last words from you before we now give it back to the facilitator, then we'll close the session.
Okay, I want to appreciate Pamdele for inviting me into this session. Great and fantastic work you're doing. I'm really impressed with how you are investing in the lives of younger professionals to make the work environment a better place and open them up and prepare them for the workplace. Obviously, there's a lacuna, the big gap between what is being taught in school and our expectations from the organizational end. And so, so you are the bridge. You're trying to bridge that gap, and great work you are doing. And also, excellent presentation done by our facilitator. For me as HR, what resonates for me today is what we have been trying to preach as human resource professionals, which is that we should also train our managers to handle the HR function on their shop floor. The facilitator spoke today like a human resource professional. And I'm really, really impressed. And we should do more. So thank you, everyone. And I'm happy I was part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I remember that you still owe us on Get Jobs. I've not forgotten about that. You still owe us on Get Jobs. I understand the situation, but it's all right. So
just give me a date and a time. I'll be there.
I see that Malam Joe wants to give a feedback. Malam Joe, the plant manager for Nigerian Bottling Company, Port Harcourt, wants to chip in something.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Dele. It's a awesome time to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to be part of it. And a couple of our colleagues at the top there, especially the facilitator, I think it's a very good one. We need to keep bringing this up so we can help the young ones on how to change job or how to get a new job, or also if possible to increase the time so they have more time to rapport with the facilitator. I believe some wouldn't mind, instead of typing question, we want to talk directly and get a direct feedback. Okay, so I sincerely appreciate being on this platform. So for the few guys who took their time to also come up with how they will have answered, introduce yourself, we still need to give them a final feedback to assist them in how they can do it better. Okay, a couple of our guys, especially the first person who spoke, if you have opportunity to do video, please do well to have a good background and face the camera. Oftentimes you were looking to the sky like you were looking for the answer from God somewhere. So, and if you are in an interview table where the rest of the guys are maybe Team or Zoom, they were looking at you and you were not looking at them. So our guys need to practice how to face the camera. If you have to do an online interview with a full car that is on ground now, that you can face the camera with all confidence and a very good background behind you, your composition really matters, and that you don't say more about what you have on the CV or what makes you different from others that will allow the job to be given to you. Once again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank
Well
you
done.
so very much, Malam Joe. We have some other big guns that want to chip in their comments. We have Oluwatosin Adeosun, the area production manager, Nigerian Bottling Company, Benin. You have the floor.
That's my mentor.
Area production manager, Nigerian Bottling Company, Oluwatosin Adeosun. Yes, you have the floor. We can hear you, but
It's struggling with his network.
Good afternoon, Engineer Dele. I want to say I want to appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much.
We can hear him now.
Yes.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. I want to appreciate you, Engineer Dele.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much for all you do, and thanks for your support. Thanks for investing in our future leaders. I really appreciate. And I want to appreciate my boss, Engineer Aderemi. Thanks for this awesome session. It sincerely, it's not really only for job seekers or graduates, newly graduates, but this session is also for people that are on the job, like me, that I don't, for somebody to move from one session to from one company to another. I've not been opportune to do that. I've been in MBC for like 11 years now, and I must say I've actually benefited a lot from this session. Thanks so much. The session was so practical, and it is something that personally I will be able to put into practice. Some very good points that I've actually picked from this session. So thanks so much, Engineer Dele, and thanks so much, Engineer Aderemi, for making our time to bless us, with your, from your wealth of experience. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for everything. So I'll give the final words to Engineer Aderemi Adewoye, but I would love to recognize those who want to be anonymous, but we know them as big guns in the industry. There are two head of HR representing two oil magnates amongst us here. They don't want to be recognized, but we know them. We know their capability. So you are highly recognized. We are seeing you on the background. Thank you so very much for those who have participated one way or the other. So I'll leave the final words for Engineer Aderemi Adewoye, but I know he has a meeting. So the final words from you, then I'll take up the gauntlet.
Okay, thank you so much for attending this section. We got 51 participants. I know it's really not easy in this part of the world for people to stay online for this long. So thank you so much for joining. I also want to appreciate our senior colleagues, especially the Madam Abaton, the Ayonda, and the other people that have decided to be anonymous. Engineer Makinde, Malam Joe, and
thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
Yeah, so I also want to recognize you and every other person that have not been able to mention your name. Thanks for also participating and supporting. And also for Engineer Bamidele Idris, I love what you are doing. I always tell myself, I know we've had the opportunity to work together, and I know how passionate you are about, getting our youth engaged, about also changing the narration about our youth. And just like Madam Abaton said, we have huge gap between what is being taught in our university, our higher institution, and also the expectation from the industry. So what you are doing is a good job trying to bridge this gap, and you are doing it rightly. And I know that is also not easy for you, because if you also consider your load of work, it's massive. But because you are passionate about this, you are doing this every day to uplift our people. So once again, thanks to everyone that has joined. I know that we are still going to have opportunity to respond to some of these questions. Please type them in, send to Engineer Dele. We provide response to you to make sure that you get value out of this presentation. Once again, thank you for joining, and I wish every one of you the best as you proceed in your career.
Okay, thank you so very much. Just for our information, this session is being recorded, and if you're interested in getting this recorded session, just chat us up on Get Jobs. We are live on Facebook, as we've been discussing. We're live on Facebook, so just connect with us on getjobs.ng, www.getjobs.ng. You can connect with us there. Our Telegram Messenger is open. And don't forget, we have another session for those interested, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, with Madam Ayanda Morapane. She's going to join us also. I'll share the details with us. So thank you so very much. I really appreciate everybody. So I wish us a lovely Sunday. Thank you so very much, and bye-bye. Thank you.